I hear the word sex, what comes to my mind first is a man and a woman, and then thinking about it properly, sex like a man and a woman meeting.
So the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear sex is mommy and daddy in the bedroom doing one thing. Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind is two naked people dick entering inside a pussy. I think I don't know if that's allowed, but a man would entering into a woman would. That's no better word for it. Yes, that is what comes to my mind when I hear sex.
What comes to my mind when I hear the word sex? To be honest, depending on the context it's been approached, you understand, depending on the conversation you're having with somebody. But the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear the word sex, the first thing is gender. Yeah, to be honest, what gender you belong, what gender you categorize into, either as a male or a female. Yeah. Or that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Depending on the context, or I say depending on the context, and if it's something you're actually talking dirty or talking with somebody previously with an opposite sex or your personal or same sex, depending on the context. So it could either be intercourse or your gender.
Sex can be defined in two ways. Sex can be explained as the different differences between a male and female. Like, for example, when you're signing a document and they require that you not just sign a document, you're filling a form, when you're trying to fill a form, they ask for your male sex, that's male or female, that's the differences in between a male or female. That's the first understanding of what I understand by sex. And the other understanding by sex I understand, which I think is very, very important for this discussion, is the intercourse between certain sets of individuals, which could be more than one or two.
Sexuality, what comes to my mind is the concept of what sex is engulfed of. Sexuality, when you say that's my sexuality, it means this is things that could actually prompt you to want to have sex with someone. So when I hear sexuality, it's my sexuality, I say, oh, okay, so this thing can actually prompt this person to want to have sex with this person. Now that's what comes to my mind now, sex and sexuality.
When I hear the word sexuality, what comes to my mind? Like sexuality is like a sexual feeling, the feeling or probably the identity relates to when it comes to sexual activities and all of that.
I would say your sexual interests. I would say sexuality has to do with your basically your sexual concern, your sexual interest regarding sexual activities, your sexual orientation, what you understand, your sexual identification, where you could be identified in, or your sexual strengths, sexual interest basically regarding, or your interest regarding sexual activities. That's what I could say.
Sexual orientation is what leads to sexuality now. Sexuality in the sense that sexuality can be defined as the identity of a certain or different set of individuals, which relates to gay, lesbianism, bisexuals. That is what I understand about the word sexuality.
No, sex and sexuality does not mean the same thing. Sex is the art. It's the art that basically at the end of the day will lead to one or two, the man on top of the woman, naked body fluid exchange and everything. And sexuality can actually happen outside of sex. Sexuality can actually, it's like I said, relates to sex in the sense that, maybe, you meet someone that the person talks very well and you like the way they talk, you're like, man, that's sexy to me. Now that's your own, that alone can prone you to want to have sex with a person because of that is the sexuality, that's what attracted you, that's the sex thing that could actually trigger you to want to, have some romantic sexual encounter.
They don't mean the same. That's sex and sexuality. There's a huge difference. You can't call sex the same thing, or the meaning of sex the same thing with sexuality. No. My honest opinion, or my understanding, I see sex as a gender or an intercourse between two or more people. Then when you talk about sexuality has to do with your preference, what you feel comfortable to probably practice depending on the categories. You understand?
No, definitely not. If they mean the same thing, then I do not think they mean the same thing, because they are two different words with two different meanings. Though a bit similar, but they're actually different. They differ because sex is like an act. You understand? Like an act. Why the sexuality is probably the feelings, the thoughts relating to people or a certain person, and I think that's the difference, but they are not the same thing though.
And I don't think I had that when I was that small. I think maybe one or two situations had happened when I was a bit younger. I think, okay, yes, I think I remember when I was 10. Yeah, I was going through a lot of things at that time. I had different friends talking about different things, hearing different things I have not heard before, and I wanted to try. So I think maybe that was when such thing happened.
Lesbian, because I never practiced such and I never did such. I was never part of such. So although while we're growing up, we already knew we're being oriented and thought the wrongs, the penalty attracted to such while we're growing up. If they catch you, you could be in jail for a long time and all that. So I never practiced such. I never give in to such. I was, hello, I'm attracted to a male, so why will I be seen practicing such? No. It's a no. It's a no.
Yes, so I've actually been called a lesbian before. In fact, I've been called a lesbian before. I remember girls in the house, that's number one. And then so naturally I feel like I wanted to be around girls, because I mean I'm used to being around girls, because apparently we're all girls in the house. So because of that, because I didn't have many male friends in quotes, people always you want to follow guys, all of that, and you're like, maybe she's a lesbian. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not. The fact that I don't follow guys doesn't mean I'm a lesbian. It's not something I should be accused of, just like that. So apparently that's it. I've been called a lesbian before. It's not offensive, but I mean, that's it.
Have I been called a lesbian or a gay before? No, I've not been called a lesbian before, but I've been called a bisexual before. So it happens this day. I actually have a lot of record for always trying to appreciate the female body. Like when a sister is looking good, I never let it slip. Yo, sister, you're looking good. You know, I tend to want to compliment people a lot, especially about their looks. So one day I was just there, I was telling a friend of mine, like, man, see this babe. Look at her ass. Look at she. Man, look at the boobs. Man, God really created this one. And if person touched these boobs last one, and people are like, are you less? I was like, no, I'm not less. Then you must be bi. No, I'm not bi. I just appreciate when a woman actually looks very good. Like her physique is so nice, and you know, flat tummy, everything checks, boobs checks, hip checks, ass check, everything checks. It actually is a sight to behold. Yes.
What I've heard really funny names, you know. knacks, bolingo. I used to have a friend. I know someone that says afana. When last bolingo and all of that. Bolingo, knacks, I think that's it. Bolingo, knack. What again? What else? I think those are the local name I know.
Seriously, is because sexual talk all day. Okay, there's what myself and my sister used to we used to say, the guy said he wants to squeeze. So that was quite funny. And I just met him now and he said he wants to squeeze. I don't know where that brought that from, but it really just sounds very funny. That you want to turn one knack. Those are the local names. I got the guy face say one knack. He say he want to do the do. Are we doing the do or not? Let's do the do or we're not doing the do. You understand? Some local other names as Kwekus. No, Kwekus is actually the female guy. So you want to chop my Kwekus. So some other local names that really cause sex is we want to mehe. You want to leguado. You want to can we you understand?
Oh, seriously? How can I answer that? How many local name of sex? I don't understand. How? I don't know. Hey. Okay, let me try. Okay. Clapping cheek. That's the first one for me. Then normally fucking forgetting. I beg. That is so righteous. Oh my god. This is crazy. I don't understand. Okay, let me mention again. Clapping cheek. One fucking that's so raw. Sorry. All right. Banging, knocking, smashing. Okay. Which other example? Shagging, away match. And lashing, I beg. That's all I know. Please don't come and corrupt me.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.